In the shadows of a past we've known, two souls lost, but we found our way home. Through the whispers of doubt we learned to stand. With a love so bright we've walked hand in hand.
Hello.
You cracked the walls with your laughter so free. I'm the strength in the storms, we're a symphony. With every step we rise above the pain, breaking generational chains. We're born again. We're the fire lighting up the night. Together we shine. It's our hearts in flight. With notes to self, we're writing our song. In this world of chaos, we know where we belong. Oh, we're changing lives, breaking through the fear. A power couple, together we're here.
There we go, guys.
They did a huge update on our system today. We're trying to figure out what the hell we're doing. We don't know. How's everybody doing today?
Welcome,
Oh my
guys.
gosh, I look a little tired, like I've been going all day. Oh. Hi, everyone. So we decided to go live today. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to. Let me turn down this light because that's so bright. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to go live today because we were taking some classes and weren't sure if we were going to be able to make it live or not, but we were able to. So,
Hello, Kelly Fowler.
where are you seeing? Oh yeah. Thank you so much. We have so many members on. Kelly Fowler, thank you for being on here. Random Old Lady, thank you. Rosalie, Corey's little sister is our
Hello.
what is it called? Moderator.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Triceratops. So for those of you who watch us regularly, you know that I've been going on some hormone replacement therapy for menopause. And oh my gosh, I feel so not all the way there sometimes. I feel like I'm losing my mind. So yeah, it's been crazy. But oh, thank you. Let's see. Random Old Lady says, I was just talking to my husband about shame.
Generational shame. And your song came on. My husband asked if I planned it.
Oh, I love
was
that.
Awesome.
Isn't that such a great song? Our daughter did so good with it. I'm like so proud of her for doing that. I just talked to her the other day and was telling her how many compliments we get on that song, and makes her feel happy because she really like put a lot of thought into it when she created it. So she had AI create it, so we don't have any copyright infringements or anything like that. We can just use it. And so she yeah, she's been sweet. Or can they not hear us? No?
Nope, they can hear us. It
Okay.
sounds good. I'm just, she said our audio is on, FYI.
Love watching and listening to you crack each other up.
Well, it's because she's playing it and I'm like, yeah, they can hear us and see us thanks to, and so she's like, oh, well, so
I know.
let's just get it going. And
so we are actually in the process right now of
Emily?
getting certified to do some mentorship. And our next step is to go get state certified so that we can help people that we know, maybe that we don't know, come out of polygamy. Instead of just giving them a public platform to speak on, we want to be able to, because anyone who comes onto our channel, we want them to feel supported.
Yep.
And so that is one of our biggest things, is making sure that they feel supported when they come on our channel. So we're going to be going and getting state certified in that pretty soon. They do background checks, which we're accustomed to because we do that with our mortgages and real estate anyways.
Licenses.
But it's just something that we really want to be able to take that next level of support for the people that came from the same kind of community that we came from. And if we can do that, then we really want to give that kind of support to people. So there, okay, sound is great. Awesome.
Yeah, I think she was just talking about at the very beginning. You got us in the little box, and then we're sitting here talking with our mics up to our face. So
Yeah.
we were on and running live.
Yeah,
So
here we are in all of our,
clueless.
yeah. So how's everybody doing? Let's get a vibe check on like how everyone's doing. We have a couple things
Kelly
we wanted to
Fowler,
talk about because we watched a
welcome.
whole cult documentary last night that we wanted to talk about. We watched Welcome to Gloriaville.
I think so. Yeah.
Gloriaville, yeah. And so
Yeah, that's interesting. It was almost like a documentary from inside the cult, from everybody
yeah,
who was following the religion to a T and the benefits of that.
right.
And definitely felt like, to be honest with you, I am so glad that there was so much hypocrisy and pushing people out of our religion, especially the young men, because I'd have probably, being raised in that thing, and hey, we just want the end of the world to come, and we want to be righteous people. I want to be a good person, and so, and of course, my parents wouldn't lie to me, would they? So
Yeah.
I was very thankful that our cult was a little less inclusive
I know.
than theirs. So
Yeah. So this is a documentary on Paramount. I think it was on Paramount, wasn't it?
mhm.
And it was called Welcome to Gloriaville, and it's about a community down in New Zealand. And it was pretty rough to watch because so much of it is number one, there's 3 parts to this documentary, and like the third part was really went into women in submission. I look so tired. I don't like that I can see myself right now. I look really tired. Yeah, thank you. Somebody just says HRT, hang in there, because oh my gosh, I feel like I have narcolepsy right now. I literally I'm a 1 activity a day person, and then I pass out and go to sleep.
And this is our second activity for
I
the day. This
know.
is great.
Well, third, we went to lunch.
Oh yeah.
So
I guess that could count.
yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely, I am feeling it lately. It's just, I don't know why. At first I felt so good, like I would take all the
Emily.
prescriptions just as prescribed, and I was getting tons of good sleep, and in the morning I was waking up and I was going, and now it's like I'm crashing. So I'm going to go get a blood test done tomorrow, blood draw done tomorrow, and see if I can do a little bit better. So somebody, Emily Thomas says, "Thank you for being a member, Emily." She says, feeling good. I watched Crash on Netflix and I'm a little obsessed. It's hot in Vegas, like 105. Good God. That's crazy. We get up to 100. We get in the low hundreds here.
I think we're 85 today, and it feels exhaustingly hot.
Yeah. So we did watch Crash too. Corey got more involved in it than I did because we had just published a video when we did it, and so I was responding more to comments. But that was the one where they believe she wrecked the car on purpose and killed her 2 friends with her.
Yep.
So Corey has probably more to say about that than I do. But
yeah, it was a good documentary. I thought it ended. I thought there would be more information on it.
Yeah, he wants a part 2.
Yeah.
He feels like we need to have a part 2 because there needed to be more information. Yeah, I definitely look tired. You can tell it's kicking the trash out of me right now. Thank you, Jody, for that super chat. It says, I have 2 family members who I have no contact. Their cancer diagnosis has not changed my mind. People are shaming me. I wish them well, but it is too toxic. How do you handle it? Again, I think what you're doing by saying, I wish you well, I wish you healing, is the best way to handle it, because I have 2 siblings directly from my mother that I have no contact with. I have not had any contact with them for my sister. I have not had anything to do with her in over 20 years. And my brother, I have not had a conversation with him in over 10 years. And before that was very sparse. So, and I get fed that all the time. the shame and guilt.
Yeah.
And when my little brother passed recently, my disabled brother, I got a lot of shame and guilt about that. And because of the circumstances and how tragic, like how quickly he passed, it was very unexpected. He ended up choking and didn't recover from the choking. And I did open my home to all of my mom's children when that happened. And after that event happened, I went back to no contact because it is just, I need to be able to keep my vibration high. And obviously, as you can tell today, I'm tired. I'm struggling with my hormones and stuff. And that's the last thing that I need. I feel like it goes underneath the category of put your own oxygen mask on first before you can help other people. And if you can't even help, if because your vibration is so low, you can't help other people if you're not helping yourself. And it's called boundaries. Boundaries are a wonderful thing.
Well, and I think she said that people are shaming her. That's the part that I'm the red flag for me. If we grew up with every communication that we had with our parents, with the community, was shame based, and since we've got out, we've learned a whole bunch of different tools. And so really, if you're coming at me with shame or a guilt trip of why I should be doing that, I did that for 18 years.
Yeah.
I followed the rules for 18 years. I did your shaming shtick for 18 years. That doesn't work for me anymore. So if you want to have an open conversation and communicate with me and see if we can heal stuff, but there are some people that don't even want to hear they don't want open communication. They don't want to hear your side of the story. And so they are determined to misunderstand you. And why have a conversation with somebody who's determined to misunderstand you consistently?
Well, not only misunderstand you, but then also misrepresent you to other people. And so it's like, those are the people that we have just eliminated from our lives. We don't want them in our lives at all. And here's the hard part too, is if it is a sibling, but it's their spouse that is the toxic one, those always are tricky too. But that was really what happened with my brother. It was his spouse that was the most toxic. And we tolerated it and tolerated it and tolerated it until it got to the point where I was like, I don't know why
it's too damaging.
It's just too damaging because they're committed to misrepresenting you to other people as well. Yep. So we have really, and it was hard for me, especially being as parentified as young as I was. It was really hard for me to walk away from some of my siblings like that. I've shed many, many, many tears over it. So it's not something that's just is easily said and done. It is something that takes a constant reminder. So I wish you well in that endeavor because it is not an easy task to go no contact. It's very hard.
Yep.
So
hang in there. Yep.
Yeah.
When they quit shaming and want to just have an open conversation, then be open to it. But it is the constant shame that I get exhausted. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to have that conversation.
Yep.
And
thank you so much, Elsa Williams says, I'd love you and Slightly High to discuss any episodes. So we chat regularly with her, and we are going to be doing something with her in a couple of weeks, second week of June, I think. So we're getting it in the schedule right now. She just was doing her graduating thing, and then she's been down in Short Creek helping out a lot of the people down there. So I know she's been doing a lot of that kind of stuff. But we chat pretty regularly. She'll send me a little message and just say, hey, what did you hear about this? Or I'll send her a message back. And she did come into town a couple months ago, and we went to dinner or went to lunch with her, which 4.5 hours later, I could have sat and talked to her all day, but she had to drive down to Colorado City, Short Creek that she was heading off to. And so we had to let her get going, but we could have sat and chatted with her all day because she's so amazing. She is one of my favorite content creators. I'm freezing today, and this guy's over here roasting. And so I had to put a jacket on because our house is like the North Pole. It's so cold. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No.
Yeah, we'll do a Sister Wives episode. We actually recently just did another episode with Sister Wives Professor. I think he might have aired that already. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I'll have to
He was
look
asking
it
us
up.
about like the ethical, our thoughts about ethical with the show. Is people who struggle to watch it ethically, are they contributing to the problem by supporting the show? So we had a
Sister
really
Wives.
Sister Wives, yeah, sorry. With
Yeah.
Sister Wives. So yeah. Um so we have been connecting with some other content creators, but Slightly High, we just adore her, and we'll be getting together with her very, very soon. And hopefully we'll have it more pinpoint. I think you'll see the video come out with her closer to like the third week of June is when we'll get that posted. We're also connecting with Holding Out Help right now. They have a big, huge fundraiser coming up at the end of June. So we're going to be filming with them tomorrow, and then we'll be posting that on the 29th of June. So you can watch for that. We'll be doing a bunch of posts throughout it. Growing Up in Polygamy is going to be a part of it. I believe David and Christine are going to be a part of stuff. So there's going to be quite a few of us that are doing it with them. I don't know exactly who all they're doing. I just know we're going to have a live panel discussion on growing up in polygamy on their channel. We'll be going live with all of them. So that's going to be really fun towards the end of, I think it starts June 23rd and goes to July 4th. And it's basically because we're mid year, and this is kind of when people don't always think about donating to these causes, and they start to really need extra help. Let's see. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let's see. Han Leishan, Corey can pronounce that name way better than me. Can you say it? Leishan, here, right here.
And Alicia.
Han, you're the one learning.
Yeah,
but thank you.
Yep,
thank you for the super chat. It says, protect your energy. Very hard to do, hard choice to make, but necessary. Love you guys. Yeah, thank you. It is definitely, it's a lot trickier than we realized it was going to be. Both of us being the oldest, it's a lot trickier when you have to make those decisions with your siblings. I think it's a lot easier to go no contact with a parent in polygamy than it is with a sibling, because your siblings were like your comrades in battle growing up. And to walk away from that and to go no contact, I never thought I would go no contact with my brother. He was my best friend for years and years and years. We were very best friends, and that one has really hurt my heart a lot. I've had a lot of tears over that one. It's been really hard for me. But it's and then there's moments where I'm just like, let's just all kumbaya and be friends. And then something happens and reminds me of exactly why we chose to go non-contact. And I had to do it for not just my own peace of mind, but for Corey's too, because him and his wife were just so toxic to both of us. It wasn't just me. And so it was something that we had to make that decision.
It was an open discussion that's better for our whole family.
Right.
Because we were spending, doing tons of stuff. We were going on vacations together and doing stuff like that. And it was bleeding over into every
aspect of our lives.
So we were just like,
well, what's funny is you guys all see what a chill, nice, calm guy Corey is, right? And then one day I'm like, I hear him just like literally yelling in the backyard. And I'm like, who in the hell is he talking to? And he was talking to my brother. And that was the last conversation I think we had. And it was like, okay, that's it. That's done. That's it. We're no longer doing that anymore. So, thank you.
Yes, random old lady.
Thank you, Sherry, for being a subscriber too, a member. Holding Out Help seems like a wonderful, needed organization. It really is. It really.
Yeah. One of the things growing up in the community that I grew up in, or we grew up in, basically, when you decide or when you're asked to leave, we were raised up very hard workers. I mean, my brother and I talk about it all the time. We had jobs at 9-10 years old. So we were hard workers. And so to be able to get out into the real world and work hard and make money, that was the easiest part for us. It was kind of amazing because we got out there and all of a sudden we get to keep all of our paycheck. We didn't have to. So it was like, half of it away. Yeah, they basically train you on living off of a portion of what you're earning. So once you get out there, one thing that Holding Out Help does is they've got therapies, and we as a community were raised up to being told that you're not supposed to go to gentile therapies or psychologists or anything like that. They're there to tear the family apart, and they weave a beautiful web of lies about what those therapies
Yeah.
do for you. Because why? Well, because a lot of those therapies reorganize your brain and train you to think differently than you've been raised to think. And so I would say the things that Holding Out Help does is gives these people some therapy that helps them reorganize how to think, and how to think in a healthy
Mhm.
way, versus always have we were always having to check in with the senior people within our community to see if we were going to do something right or wrong. And so you never really learned how to
You weren't
think for
encouraged to have
yourself.
individual thought
There you
or
go.
individual decision making.
And a lot of this therapy is re-educating yourself that you do have a gut feeling of what's best for you and how to
Mhm.
proceed forward without having to check in with some sort of leader every time you make a decision. You can go out and choose all these decisions in your life
Yeah.
that most of us were doing anyhow. We just didn't know we were, because we were checking back in. We were making the decision, but we were just checking in with our leadership. And so,
Well, and that's one of the things we were talking to Christine and David about on our interview with them, was how women are in this religion are doing it 90% of the time by themselves, but we're always defaulted back to a programming of I can't do it on my own. I have to have this
mhm,
man. It's kind of the same thing with some of the people who leave. It's like, how would I make that decision? I need a leader to guide me and tell
yep,
me what I need to be doing. And how do I know? It's interesting too, because even though some of my siblings were not fully engulfed into the doctrine or the religion, they still don't know how to make their own decisions. And
yep,
so my daughter, my cutest little bug of a little sister, I'm 26 years older than her. She's the baby. When she first moved in with my daughter, she's about 6 years younger than her. She would go to her and say, "Does this sound okay? Does this sound okay?" And my daughter would say, "You are a woman of decision. You know how to make this decision. I'm going to allow you to make this decision." And my little sister would be like, "I don't know if that's the right choice or not." And then when my daughter would stop answering her questions, then she would email me, "Mel, what do I do about this?" And so my daughter was like determined. She's like, "Nope, you are a woman of decision. I believe in you. You're going to make this decision and it's going to be okay. And even if it's not okay, then we'll fix it later. But you get to make the decision and choice." So I think that's very much in this religion how people do that.
so blessed Canadian. I'm right there with you. I'm helping heat up the climate. So it has been warm
And
today.
I am
So
freezing.
I
Our
know,
house is like an iceberg. Okay.
feels so good.
Kelly, thank you for being a member. She says, "My son's wife is a convicted essay offender for essaying one of her students. Oh boy. My son didn't leave her and keeps our grandkids away from us because we won't have anything to do with her. How do I heal through that?" Wow, that's a tough one.
Hmm.
That's a really tough one. We are not
No,
counselors. We do
yeah,
not. I wish we had some advice for that one, because
but I don't know. Would that is a hard one because you're the grandparents.
I
You know
know
what I mean?
it, honestly,
And so,
for me, I would write notes to my grandchildren, which is why I
mhm,
named my channel Notes to Self. I would write I would write letters to them frequently, and I would hold on to those letters, because eventually you will have contact with the grandchildren. And I get they're adults in the situation, but your grandchildren deserve to know you and deserve to know what you feel about them and how you feel about them, but keep it very focused on them and not focused on what their parents are doing to you or to them by keeping them from you or you from them.
mhm.
It would just be this. I just think that handwritten notes are one of the most empowering things that we can give each other. Corey's mom lives in Montana
Writes
on the
letters.
ranch. Our daughter lived here when she was very, very little, probably 4 when she first started learning how to write. I bought her a stationery set so that she could write her grandmother back and forth, and her grandmother could send her down handwritten letters to her.
Yep.
And so now she's
Which is
still,
so-
now she's 23 and she still has all those letters. I think those are the most important things that we can do. And on the sad days, if you're sad, write it in the letter. Let them know you're sad, that you miss
Mhm.
them, but definitely stay out of blame or shame for
Yeah.
the parents or for yourself. That would be my advice. That's what I would do. If it were me in that situation, that's how I would handle it. But definitely, again, I'm not a therapist by any means, but if I had grandbabies out there that I had no contact with, that's how I would handle it. So, Plig Kid, what?
Would you support play like you supported just to keep peace? His wife?
I didn't do that very well with my grandpa.
No, you didn't. So
My
Nope,
grandpa was a
probably wouldn't.
convicted sex. He was a convicted SAer, and my
Yeah,
younger
you cut it
siblings were
off.
still brought around him till the day he died. And I did not stay quiet about that. I was very vocal about it. I let my parents know how much I highly disagreed with that, because our youngest is a little girl.
Yeah.
And I was very, very upset about how that was handled.
And I understand that one. The thing that's the hard thing for me is this is a grandparent that it has good intentions and that it's going
I
to
know.
support those grandchildren, and you need that. And so I'm sad for that the husband wouldn't at least see that, or their son wouldn't see that, and try to at least keep those.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't support that I'm still hanging around with her, but I do support that the kids need to still see you guys and hang out. So
Yeah. I would say
But-
until things are resolved, I would absolutely journal for the grandchildren specifically. And if there's multiple children, I would do it specific for each child, because you want that child to feel seen and
Yeah.
recognized by you. Not just, so if there's 4 children, I would write 4 individual letters. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And it might just help you to get some of that out of your body while you're going through the emotional trauma of it all.
Yep.
Because I couldn't even imagine
being separated,
not
that sucks.
not being able to see those grandbabies. And so I know that as a person, you will have emotional trauma in your body. And I would highly recommend even just for that. So, oh, thank you. I'm sure everyone here agrees you're a very good therapist, even if you don't have a piece of paper to prove it. I think
Yeah.
one of our biggest things for Corey and I is we've always stopped and said, what would we have wanted if we were in that situation?
There we go.
How would we have wanted our father to respond to us, and then respond accordingly? How did I want my mother to respond to me, or how did I want? And so that's what we've tried to
Yep.
do with our kids. Oh, and our grandkids.
Yeah. How would have I resignated better, worked, had communication with my father, how things would have been best scenario,
Yeah.
and then I would try to play out that as a parent or as now a grandparent. So it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And there's just something to be said. I think we've lost the art of handwriting. And there was just something when you're so deeply engrossed in something that somebody you love prepared just for you. I just think there's so much importance in that.
Yep. I'm 55 years old, and every time I get a letter from my mom, I'm like a weird kid. Open it up, like, oh, might be a $5 bill in there or $1 in it. My
Mhm.
grandma used to send me them all the time too. So
And with our little girl, we tried to make it fun for her so that she wasn't just like, oh, do I have to write grandma a letter? We actually went out and bought her a stamp kit, a seal where it,
yep, with her initials
yeah,
on
so
it.
a wax seal so that she could write the letters and then put a wax seal on the outside of the letter to send to her grandma.
Yep.
And then, yeah, and she still has all those letters to this day. And I'm grateful that she's got them. Let's see. I wanted to get to this one. Okay. Oh, welcome. Oh, shoot. I went to hit share and it jumped. Okay, welcome to our channel. Says hello from Bisbane. I found your channel recently through Little Miss Recap. This is the first I've been a part of. I love the chemistry between you and your commentary on the show and the religion. Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks.
What's funny, I don't know, maybe Corey doesn't know I'm about to say this and maybe he's going to get mad at me later. But last week before we went live, we were going at each other so hard. I was so annoyed with this fool and he was so annoyed with me. And I was like, I don't even want to go live with you right now. I don't even want to sit next to you. And he was like, fine, I don't want to sit by you either.
I don't even remember that. I'll have to go back and rewatch your.
No, I'm kidding. We never talked to each other like that. But we were definitely struggling. We were on the struggle. We were on the struggle bus that day. I was feeling, poor Corey is dealing with my emotional ups and downs. And some days he just doesn't do it the way that I want him to. And I get so annoyed with him because I'm like, figure it out. And then he's like, well, do you want to? And I'm like, I don't even know. You just need to know it for me. So what?
I was breathing the oxygen
wrong
incorrectly.
Wrong. So. You were. Yep, you absolutely were. And so, yeah, most people, and what's funny is we got like a dozen comments that day. Oh, you guys, I love the chemistry between the two of you. I'm like, really? Yeah, because we were
not feeling it.
We were not feeling it that day. Well, I wasn't. I think that you're always kind to me. I'm just the one who gets annoyed.
It had been a while. I'd got over it. I was just like, yeah, let's.
It had been a while. It had been 5 minutes. I was over it, and I'm the one holding on. So, so yeah, it's funny. So let's go back to that glory veil. If anyone has a chance to watch that one is very interesting. We thought about doing a breakdown of it because the last episode, so there's 3 episodes. The first episode is the young couple getting married and how they decide, like how they determine these kids get married, these young folks get married. And then the second one was
dealing with death and the end of the world.
And babies, death, and the end of the world. So bringing life into the community and then death of people. And then the third one was?
The second one was the most impactful for me. So
the third one was how women submit to their husbands.
Submission. That's the one that bugged Melanie the most. Mine was the second. The second episode was the one that kind of hit home for me of like, oh man. So you tell why your episode, why was this? I know why. Well, I understand why submission is a
I don't do that very well.
Frustrating thing for you, but yeah, all the teachings, that's the interesting part. Every one of the teachings that they were teaching about submission, we were taught the same thing, and because it comes out of the same set of scriptures.
Yeah.
So
it was really hard for me to deal with that one. Sorry, there was some jewels that were given to us. Thank you so much. And welcome, Michelle Jones. Katie Anderson, thank you guys. Thank you for being members of our channel. Where did that? You see it? You can see it right there. Right. Jewels, but it doesn't show up anywhere else.
I don't see.
So Linda Hostler, thank you so much for those. It says sent flowers. Oh, thank you. Yeah, right. It's just a small little. I barely caught it with my eye. Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to jump the subject, but I wanted to acknowledge that. So thank you. The part that I found hard about the third episode of this was women will fully submit to their husband. This is a fundamental Christian community, right? And so we've been following, and their names on this show are so cute. Like her name is Dove Love, and what are some of the other names?
Yeah, no.
Chastity, Charity, things like that. I know there's a bunch more. I can't think of what their names are, but
Chastity Belt.
Yeah, but no, but we have. Now Corey made my brain go blank. But we follow Dove Love through every episode. She is 22 years old. She's in charge of the kitchen. She's in charge of the laundry. She's in charge of a bunch of different things. So she has a team of workers that she oversees and manages, right? And it's a community. It's it's a community of united order where nobody gets a paycheck. Everybody does what's best for the community. everyone's needs are met. Their basic needs are met. Nobody has more than someone else does. You only just take what you need, that type of a community. Well, Dove Love, she's 22 years old, and she's wondering if she'll ever get married. Apparently, there's some people in the community that don't get married. Well, what happens is these young men decide, I'm about ready to get married. They go to the leadership. The leadership takes a list of girls
that aren't related
to them
very closely.
And then they create a short list, so he can go through and he can say, yes, I like all these girls. And then they create a short list of eligible girls that he is available to court or marry. And then he prays about it. He gets an answer for one of them. And then they proceed from there. Then he goes and asks her, and she says yes or no. Or he asks the leadership says yes or no. Then the parents say yes or no. And then he goes to the girl herself. Well, she is in a leadership position in a very patriarchal dominant society, but she's in leadership over some of the other women who are in there. And this young man who decides to go ask about her is 17 and she's 22 in a leadership position, because I feel like that's super important. She's going to find, I think in a couple of years, she's going to be very discontent in her position. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining our membership program. Thank you for joining level 2. Thank you.
Yeah, China Clay says Pearl Valor and her family are out, by the way.
Oh,
out of the community now.
Oh, yeah. China says Gloriaville is free on Amazon.
Yep.
It is truly a shit show, which it is. Just know it cannot be that perfect. We know we were trying to, whenever they're interviewing somebody, we don't ever actually hardly watch the faces of who they're talking to. We watch the people behind them, because that's where you can get the more of the real story. Well, he goes and he proposes to her, and they decide they're going to get married. And then on their wedding day, she has to 100% fully submit to this man, and he gets to make all of her decisions for her now. So she went from her being a daddy's girl, who she spent a lot of time with her father, and she's a leader in the community, to being completely submissive to a 17-year-old boy. Why are you laughing so hard?
Because, and then you said at the end, that's going to go to his head, and he's going to become, it creates these little
If you were
monsters.
17 years old, and you had, like, you're a nice guy now, but do you think you would have turned into a total monster at that age?
Absolutely. Especially with all their teachings.
Right.
That you are the superior. Yeah. If I had bought into all of those teachings, if I didn't have empathy for my mothers and my sisters, and
if I didn't have basic human decency towards women, yes.
Then yes, you can eat. You are the leader. You are. So if you do suck into those.
Oh, I thought you were going to put a period right there. So if you do suck,
then you become a very.
But if you suck into those beliefs, yes.
Yeah, then you're very dominant, and they almost raise you as if you could do no wrong.
Right.
And really, the wife can't tell you that you're doing wrong. They can bring you before the leadership, but as long as the leadership has your back, you're going to rule with an iron fist.
Yeah. So in part of her wedding vows is that she will love him forever, and they have a 0% divorce rate in this community. So when you're married, you're married. It's like forever
within the community. Usually, if there's divorces, because they're leaving. That's what they forgot to tell you.
They forgot to put that part.
The minute you get a divorce and say I'm done, then you're no longer a part of the community.
Right.
So that's how they get.
That's why Pearl probably left. Pearl and her family. 50% of worldwide marriages are arranged. Oh, that's horrible. But yeah, this was a very hard one to watch for me, because she doesn't know this. I mean, she knows him because they grew up in the same community. There's about 540 members of the community. So she knows of him, but she doesn't know him. They're not allowed to ever be one-on-one alone, because they have chaperones everywhere they go. And I thought, this feels so familiar.
It does. You don't get to talk. You really don't get to know the other person, other than when you can see them and meet them in church meetings, or in firesides or things like that where you're supposed to be good and righteous, and if you go sneaking off on the side, then you're rebellious.
Yeah.
So you have to do it under the eye of the leadership and be obedient. So they really don't have a clue who either one of them are.
Somebody says, China Clay says, I would love to watch you guys watch that show. It'd be very interesting. Yeah, when I've had enough and I'm like, okay, disconnect, I stand up and I'm like, this is a bunch of garbage. I'm going to get a graham cracker. And then Corey's all, woman, and then he tries to boss me around while you're in the kitchen in your dutiful spot. Can you get me a drink? No, you don't even say can. He'll be like, go get me a drink, woman. And I'll just be like, do not make me throw a glass of water on you right here. So he tries to amplify my frustrations. And I was telling him, I'm like, here she is. She is not going to be fulfilled in this relationship when she's 22 years old and she already has a taste of leadership. She already has a taste of finding her own voice and organizational skills and making sure that people have what they need. You know, she because she had a team and she would go from laundry to food to, or, breakfast to all sorts of washings. She was very good about managing and organizing things and a team of people to help her. She's going to go from that to having a 17-year-old boy tell her what to do and tell her how she can breathe and how can she not. And then he's going to knock her up every single chance he gets. He's going to knock her up. And that's going to be her life from then on. And you cannot tell me that that's a fulfilling life for somebody like her. Now, in her mind, it might be again, this is why we say we don't believe the Browns came out to purposely deceive the public, because this is what they were taught is normal. She was taught this is her goal in life, is to be a dutiful mother and a dutiful wife. And
yeah, they're trying to show the shiniest parts of our religion and how it's supposed to be lived. And unfortunately, living it long term is very frustrating and painful.
Yeah. So the show is called Gloria Vale. We watched it on Paramount Plus. It's apparently on Amazon for free. You can watch it there. And it's a fundamental Christian group in New Zealand. What's funny is I saw the ad for it on TikTok, which is what got me interested in it. And in part of the comments, there were a dozen comments from people who live in New Zealand and they're not allowed to watch it there because they don't want people, I guess, I don't know, they don't want it exposed in their country. But exactly, the poor woman, she will not be his wife and partner. She will be his mommy. Yeah. And that's exactly what and how is she going to find any level of fulfillment in that relationship? Yes, I'm sure she will love being a mother. I loved being a mother. I didn't know any different. I did not have a partnership in my first marriage. It was very much me being a mother to my children is what gave me.
Were you submissive?
I was for the first
leadership. So is that why it irritates you?
Yeah, it pisses me off.
Because you were submissive.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily fully to your husband, but leadership within the community said you needed to do this. You needed to support your husband. You needed to, and you would be like, oh, fine, I'll do that. So.
Yep. And I agree with this. So Plig Kid 69 says, power of the priesthood is sold to young males like a superpower. Yep. The word power is used consistently to sculpt a narrative. Absolutely. And at 17 years old, this child does not have enough wisdom, has not had enough life experiences to have enough wisdom to know how to direct and govern his family appropriately. What he's going to do is get an inflated ego and he's going to rule. And the one day that his wife tells him, no, hey, I don't agree with that. And again, they presented it on this documentary as everyone just does what they're supposed to do. There's no, there's no discontent. Everyone's happy. We all just go with the flow, which we all know is not true. But then one day she backtalks him and he backhands her. You can't tell me that there's not physical abuse that happens in a community like that. What are you going to say?
Well, that's just, you see, episode 2 was the one that got me. And I think that episode 2 was the one that let you know that people were no longer a part of the community.
Right.
And it's because the old man is passing, and they're like, we're actually excited for him. He's got his new, he's with the Christ, and he's fulfilled his duty. And so they're super excited. And then the kid says, the ones that we're truly sad about are those who leave the community. And
Because we know we will never see them again.
yeah,
They won't be re-resurrected. They won't be.
they will be shunned from the community, first of all. So they'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Because they're taught to shun those people that leave. And then in their belief system, that person, because they left the community, will never, they're going to hell. They were given the light and they turned their back on it. And so they will never see them in this life or acknowledge them in this life or the next. And I grew up with that same teaching. I had an older brother that left, and yeah, our parents saying, yeah, he's going to go to hell because he turned away from the light and the knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, now all of us have left, or majority of us have left, and I'm sure those still in the community think the same way, that we're all going to be in hell. And so it's almost more of a gut wrenching feeling that I grew up believing that. Now I don't believe that. Now I don't follow those rules. But
He still tries to get the women in submission rule to happen, but
No.
it just doesn't.
Well, I've never had a submissive wife, so that one didn't come out as something that I even believed in,
Although
so it didn't sting.
I
So
wasn't as submissive as I want to say that I was, because literally I got pregnant right on a honeymoon baby, right? And I'm garage sale shopping. I'm buying all my baby stuff from a garage sale, and I end up buying a crib. But I asked my ex-husband in front of my friends if I could buy that crib. And it was $50. And I made $5.50 an hour back then. And he was so angry with me for asking him in front of my friends that by the time I got home, he about kicked me out of the house. He was so angry with me, and I ran him over with my car because I got in my car to hurry and leave, because I was like, absolutely not, screw this. And so he stood in front of the car and he's like, you do not get to leave here. And I did. I ran him over with the car. What are you looking at? And so I haven't always been very submissive. And then after we had the baby and he was courting what he wanted to be his second wife, he used my baby to flirt with her. And I was so angry because they just disappeared. I had no idea where they went. And I was a very, very attached mother because I was so young and I was barely 18. And I walked right up to him while he was playing with my baby and his little girlfriend. And I was like, don't you ever use my baby to flirt with your potential girlfriends again. And I took the baby out of his hands and I walked away. So I don't think I've always been terribly submissive. Corey's lost in comments.
no, basically that's what I wrote down. Escaping utopia.
Yeah, utopia. I was going to get that too.
Yeah.
I actually screenshotted it though.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm making notes to myself.
Look how you just did that. So yeah, so I wouldn't say that I was always a very submissive wife, but for the most part, I did what I was told when I was told to do it. I was a very submissive daughter. However, I feel like I was always didn't want to disappoint my father. But yeah, and then I went and left. We were out at the AUB building. And I put the baby in the car seat and drove away. And he's like chasing my car. He's running after my car in front of his girlfriend. He's running after me. And he gets in the car and he's like, I'm going home with you. I'm like, then get in the car or walk. I don't care. But I was so angry. I was not a nice person.
Well, I kind of scoff because you tell these stories, and yeah, I don't know that person. I really don't. It's some of the funny things is I'm like, you submitted to that? Because then when you and I met each other, when you and I started talking, you were kind of that will never happen again. I'm like, yeah, but who you used to be versus
Well, it's because I found a
who you came.
voice.
I know. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, I'm not going. Sorry, just because. Well, I guess I had had my priesthood stripped of me, so you didn't. You just had a good old conversation with me. You knew that I
You
didn't
weren't a
have any
priesthood authority
power
threat to
over
me,
you.
so I could
Yeah.
tell you how it was.
Yeah.
No,
So
and honestly, we just didn't have a voice. We were not allowed to express what we needed. And it really took me finding my voice and being able to say, that won't happen again. You won't be doing that to me again. And, a lot of it was when I became very wanted to choose out of life. And I did some things that that's the thing about polygamy. It brings out the ugly in people, and they don't, because jealousy is a ugly side of people. And a lot of times people just don't know the rage that they're going to feel until they're in the middle of it. Like, I never would have ever thought that I would run him over with a car, but he was telling me that I'm sorry, I have a job. I work, I make my own money. I'll buy a secondhand crib if I want to. And you're going to chastise me for asking you before I purchased it in front of my friends. That's why he was angry, because I made him look like the bad guy. So he didn't have the option to say no. That's why he was mad at me.
mhm.
And so he's going to put me in the corner and ground me. Absolutely not. And that's what he was trying to do. So I went from being under my father's control, under my husband's control. And yeah, I hit him pretty hard with that car too. He rolled off the top of it. It still felt really good. I won't even lie. The minute that he hit the car, I was like, that's what you get, fool. And so, but jealousy brings out a really ugly side in people. And so when you watch a documentary like this, where everybody's happy all the time and we're just happy to serve and we're just happy to do these things, that's just not real. That's not real life. So
Melanie is not admitting or alleging that she committed a crime here and hitting an ex-husband. So just so everybody
I
knows,
think that hopefully the
Put
statute
in
of
a
limitations has expired on that by 40
clarification-
years.
clarification note. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, and
So-
some of the stories that we hear. So we just did an interview with someone.
Oh,
it is
thanks.
going to be
Virginia.
it's such an impactful story. We're going to be releasing it here pretty soon. And she's somebody who reached out to us from the AUB and wanted to share her story with us, so we have been going to we're taking some classes right now to learn how to communicate with people on our platform more effectively, because we want the people who come we want some of the survivors to come onto our show that feel supported and heard and validated. So we are learning right now. We're our next step is to go get state certified. And this young woman had reached out and she came on to Melanie's a felon.
She could have been.
I could have been, yeah. So she came onto our platform and we've realized that we need to have more resources to support the people that come out of this community. And so we instantly went in and started figuring, what do we need to do? How can we be supportive?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, let's see here.
Thank you so much, Diana Fazar, for that super chat. We really appreciate that.
Sarah,
just some love from Sister Wives.
Sarah says shunning
Southwest Virginia
is so bad and causes trauma. The hate, the use of it in cults. The interesting part is, so that's something as I've come out of a cult, I'm always open to communication. The truth actually tends to stand up on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that growing up in the cult they didn't want you to talk to people who had left, because those people, 99% of the time, those people had questions about truths that were going on within the AUB, and they couldn't stand up on their own 2 feet. And they didn't want people talking to them, because then that would spread through the community of actually what open, honest communication going through a community would get more people to leave. And so I feel like within a cult, shunning is something that we were trained to do it. I was and then all of a sudden my family was like, okay, we're not going to shun people. We're not, everybody's welcomed. My brother was welcomed back. I had my older brothers come in. My grandparents from outside of the community came in and were able to talk to us. And eventually I feel like that open communication with people without most of the family has left, and my parents probably now would be like, yeah, we probably should have shunned them more, but it led to open communication. And so I'm always kind of balancing whether, but yeah, then there's sometimes when I try to talk to somebody and have open communication and they're unwilling to, okay, let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to fight their belief system. I don't want to sway them one way or the other, but I just want to be a good human being and have open communication. And sometimes, like with your brother, it's just like, it's useless. He just wants to find something wrong with every conversation we have, and we can't have open communication. So let's just not communicate until something changes. And that's what we've just chosen to do. Okay, we're good. Don't have to, because I don't want to have a conversation with him where he can twist it and cause more damage. So
yeah, the orchestrated campaign against your channel was kind of shunning you through damage. You're reaching to your audience, damaging. You're reaching to your audience, and I think that brother had some to do with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And which is really sad, which is really tragic. And the guest that I was just talking about, she commented in the video that when she left, she did to them what she was afraid that they were going to do to her, and she shunned them first because she didn't want to feel that shunning. So she just walked away from everybody in the AUB. She walked away from her ex-husband. She walked away from her the sister wife, the kids, and everything, and shunned them and shunned everyone. I think we were the first, she said we were the first ones she reached back out to in the AUB because it's like you're so afraid that that's going to happen that you do it first.
Side note, we're not part of the AUB.
Who said we are?
You said we were the first ones she reached out to from the AUB.
Well, ex-AUB,
Okay,
sorry. Yeah.
There you go. We're not part of the AUB anymore. I know, just clarifying.
And this is so true. Shunning seems to be a common theme in most religions or groups that have any sort of hierarchy. All are welcome until you disagree.
Yep.
And isn't that so true?
Especially if you have a better argument than the leader,
yeah,
PSR. So,
and that's what's so that's what I was saying.
Or you have proof that what he's saying is bullshit. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you can't talk anymore.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, look at that guy that you looked at that was excommunicated because he questioned Owen Allred.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Your sister-in-law's father.
Yep.
Our sister-in-law's father, I guess. So yep. Yeah. What are you getting certified in? Mentoring. So we are going to get certified in statement and in mentoring to be supportive of people who are coming out so that we know how to communicate with them. We have an advantage because we were both born and raised in it. So we have an advantage of, like, again, I feel like that goes back to, we look at how would we want somebody to respond to us, and that's how we try to do our responses. But I think it helps for us to have a deeper education. So when we went in today to talk about it, there's a state level we can go get certified in. They do background checks, they do all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to be doing that. I'm going to sign us up for that tomorrow or even later tonight when we're finished here. We literally just got straight back from the classes that we were taking today and then decided to do a live. Let's see. Shame is in all religions and groups as well. It really is. Mm-hmm. And I had been reading this book, You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. And that is one of the things that she talks about in there is what energy or vibration do you, if you're going to consume food for, let's just say, do you consume it with a shame and a guilt because you feel shame and guilty about it? What does that do to your body versus if you just go, you know what, it's been a great day and I am going to enjoy this because it's been a wonderful day. And then you consume food that way. It goes all the way down to the food that we consume. Mm-hmm. Shame and guilt is very, very low density and energy. And it's very, keeps people stuck. it's hard to advance when you're stuck in shame and guilt. Yep, shunning is used all the time. It's a very powerful weapon. It really is. And I always tell that to people that we're talking to. The shame that you feel about what you're doing is probably worse than the thing that you're doing. And so just get rid of that shame and just go, you know what? I'm not going to do that again. And then just make a choice not to do that again. But my son always says to us, we're like the only people, we're the only species on the planet that continually flog ourselves for something that we
Yeah.
did wrong and make ourselves wrong and bad.
Feel
We don't
shame
just
for
move
something
on
over
from it.
and
We
over
shame and guilt
again. Yeah.
ourselves.
Don't learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question. I don't feel like it's shunning, but yeah, we've kind of sat down and said, hey, we no longer want to bang our head against a wall in communication with. Are we shunning your brother, or
I don't believe so,
Yeah,
because there has
protecting
been
our-
numerous amounts of communication before that. It was like, hey, this
we'd
is
like to fix this.
this
We'd
is
like to have
toxic. We
that.
can't
Yeah.
keep having this go on.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's shunning at all. I
No,
feel
it's
like it's protecting. It's setting up a boundary. So that's the difference between boundaries and shunning. I think
Yeah.
a lot of times people get those two confused, and then they attach shame to boundaries, which makes it feel like they're shunning when they're not. It's actually it's actually putting your own oxygen mask on first and creating boundaries. Hey, this is not going to, this does not serve my life and serve me in a positive way. And after you've made every attempt to reconcile or try to, you've let them know, hey, these are my boundaries. I
That's right.
love you. I want you to be in my life, but I can't have this toxic behavior
Violation
in my
over
life.
and
And
over
then they
again.
keep violating it and keep violating it. Then at that point, yeah.
That's different than somebody just going, you know what, you're no longer part of our
Yeah.
religion, and so now we can't talk to you.
When they
at
do
all.
it based on a religion only,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because you're not a part of our group anymore. But when you have open, honest communication with somebody and try to create it, and it just does not work, then that at some point for your own
Yeah.
sanity, you have to just step back.
Yeah,
So,
I call it trimming the toxic branches.
nice.
Absolute. And I agree with you. When my little brother passed, we literally invited all of my mom's children to our home. And this particular brother chose not to come, which is absolutely fine. And he
Which is
said,
great.
he even said, I know Melanie would be okay if I came to this, but he didn't want to bring his very, very toxic wife with him. She's the one who really does cause the
Yeah.
majority of the drama. And he didn't want to bring her. And so they opted not to come. But during that entire experience with my little brother's passing and death, I never said one word to either one of them, because I knew that if I didn't hold strong to that boundary, I miss him. I miss having that relationship with him. I did it for my own benefit, because if I started to have any level of conversation with him, I'd be like, oh, dang it, I kind of miss you, dude. Can we try to be friends again? And I know that's not the healthiest thing for us. And so I just kept a distance, didn't say anything, just let things be where they lay where they did. And their children decided not to participate in any of it, where all of the grandkids, all the cousins, everybody got to come to our home, and they chose to keep themselves away. So again, I don't think that's shunning. That's them deciding that,
AUB and Scientology have stuff in common.
Yeah, AUB and Scientology have a lot in common, I think.
They were both sci-fi stories that were turned into religion. So somebody's like, hey, let's write a sci-fi book. Oh, let's turn it into religion now. So
yeah, shunning is aggressive, creating boundaries is defensive. I would say definitely, I'd say creating boundaries is what's the word that I'm looking for? It's going to come to me and then I'll remember and I'll bring it back up, because it's a proactive way to ensure your peace of mind. Thank you for this. Your ongoing efforts to improve yourself is admirable. That's awesome, guys. I will be taking my exam next month to become board certified behavior analyst, working with kids who have autism. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I just we did an interview with somebody and I just felt like we didn't have the tools to be as supportive as we could, and so we just instantly the next day called in and got
Yep.
some okay, what do we need to do? I want people to feel absolutely supported. If they entrust us to tell their story, I want them to feel completely supported. So,
Yep.
yeah,
What skills can we add to our toolbox of
what can we acquire?
becoming a podcaster? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to just have a platform where people can just come and tell their story. I want them to when they're finished feel very supported.
Yep.
Cuz it's scary. It's
It
scary to get
is.
up here and tell your experiences. Especially like for me, I had a lot of shame around like why wasn't I smarter? How come I didn't know better? How come why was I so dupable? And
Yep.
I had a lot of shame around that. And I think if I would have tried to go on a public platform 10 years ago, 20 years ago and tried to tell my story, no way. No way would I have done that. It really took my sister going out and me feeling like she was exploited and capitalized on, and me going that me wanting to protect victims' stories and victims' situations for me to go, okay, I guess we're gonna do this. I guess we're gonna start a platform.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I quickly am learning that we need more skills to do this as humanly possible, so people feel so much supported. But anyways, hopefully that. Uh, Plig Kid says shame is based off one's own insecurities. Unfortunately, our society thrives on this, good or bad, but there are healthier conversation options. Yeah, and I definitely think that it's important to feel guilt for what you've done. If you've wronged somebody, make it right. If you have lied, make it better. Whatever it, do some sort of reconciliation. But when your whole every decision you make is made in shame or guilt, and in the AUB, that is how I was raised. I personally was raised in a lot of shame and guilt. When my father said to me, when I had a boyfriend, and my father said to me, don't you feel dirty all the time? It doesn't matter how many times you shower. Look how doesn't your body still feel dirty? And it wasn't until I had an exorcism on me when I was 15 with my father and my boyfriend's father, who was also an AUB council member. He was a leader. And then I was rushed right out to the endowment house or into the baptismal font and rebaptized. And he's like, there, now your breasts are clean again. Don't get those dirty.
Dirty them up for you, babe.
That's
well,
a
the
lot of
interesting
shame
part
for a 15-year-old.
So, at what age were you at this time? And
I
then
was
your
15.
Dad became a council member at 19.
I was, yeah.
So maybe by him
He was a high priest.
bringing in and throwing his children under the bus and doing all that stuff. Oh, this would be a good guy to have in here. And so,
yeah, look at the way he properly handled his daughter.
It was his father-in-law too, right? From another wife.
Yeah, his father-in-law. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Cody Brown is no Tom Cruise, AUB and Scientology. Somebody says, but I could see him jumping on the couch though.
Oh, yeah.
I can see both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michelle says, I've never been part of a cult, but I have finally learned after many, many years that I needed to not allow a lot of people to be a part of my life anymore. Self-healing. Honestly, I don't feel like you have to be a part of a cult. I think this is a universal truth of boundaries and self-respect and putting your oxygen mask on first. I don't think a cult really has much to do with that universal law. Is that why you're smirking over here? Oh my God. You're giving this guy's ego. Yeah, exactly. No contact and shunning are totally different. Yep. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. What are you reading now? Oh, thank you. You both have such good hearts and come from. I'm going to assume it says come from, but yeah. What are you raising your hand for? Oh, stop it.
Compelling you or
No.
We do the exorcisms here every once in a while, but
Yeah. Oh, you both have such good carts and come off as very compassionate. Yeah, thank you. So, Jody made a comment up here. I wanted to put this. It took me way too long how demeaning. Um Again, that's where I feel like that goes right back to what we were just saying a few minutes ago of realize what you did and then just have charity, compassion with yourself because human nature by nature, once we know better, we will do better.
mhm.
That is, I believe that is part of our human. We're always, not everybody does this, but generally in human nature, we want to be better. And so when we know better, we will do better. And again, I feel like on Instagram, I'm constantly posting statements that said, forgive me for forgiving myself for what I didn't know back then, forgiving myself for not knowing things sooner in my life, giving myself compassion and charity for, because as soon as you know better, you'll do better.
Fourth agreement, do your best. And that's waking up every day, learning more information and going, okay, I'm going to do my best today.
Right.
So,
Right.
and hopefully it's better than it was yesterday. So,
Right.
so you're always trying to create in your mind that, okay, I'm living the best version of myself throughout the day today.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yep. I agree with you. Let's see. Sarah says, I have brain damage from the trauma in early childhood, so my thought and hands don't always connect. So my thoughts and my hands don't always connect. I think we all have a slight amount of brain damage from that kind of stuff, but I explain that maybe a little bit deeper. Oh, um, let's see. I always tell my kids, as you learn better, you do better. We hope so. Now there
yeah,
are some people who don't want to be better. They don't want to they don't want to they hear something and then they're just like, I don't care, I want to be angry. I think my brother's wife is one of those people. She doesn't want to be a better person. She purposely, my mom said to her one time, why do you purposely antagonize people like that? And she says, because it's fun to watch people get angry and fight with each other. So she finds pleasure and joy in that. And when that answer came back, that's when we knew it was time to sever that relationship because we don't want to participate with people who find pleasure and joy in making other people argue and fight. I think that when you get in a high demand religion like the AUB, I think you get people in authority who like to do that too.
yeah.
And you always get that one or two bad apples. If any
That's
of
how
you,
you keep control over a group of people.
right.
It really is. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if any of you watched Unchosen, this terrible human comes into this group of people, and because they believe in each other and they think everybody is out there for everyone else's betterment, he easily manipulates them, and so it says a year later he's in a
Yeah.
leadership position.
Yeah, and you said that wrong. This terrible person comes into a group of other terrible men
Oh, did I?
running. No, that's how it is. And so it's
Oh,
easy for him to work his way to the top because they're not very good at.
because you knew some pretty terrible
They can
men
do.
growing up.
Yeah, yeah. He senses in them that he can probably get in control of them pretty quickly.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
And so definitely I feel like there is people who don't care to do better, who just want to come in and manipulate and coerce and take advantage of other people.
Yep.
I know there's something in the air, huh? Because I'm feeling it in my throat too.
Yeah. It's like hay fever. So
Right. And so there are definitely people like that who don't have other people's best interest in mind. And unfortunately, there are quite a few of them in the AUB in my experience. There's quite a few in leadership in the AUB in my experience. I see quite a few of those kind of people. You what?
You get moved up in leadership if you can be that manipulative. So that's one of the if you question stuff that's going on, you don't become a leader. If you just cause separation between people and
Yeah.
lie your way up to the top. It's who you know. And if you can kiss the current prophet's butt long enough, you could probably become prophet yourself. So
Do you think that's what my dad did?
I do.
Put you right on the spot.
I know who his what his stepdad was. So yeah, absolutely.
So my dad blew. I can't even say it with a straight face. The AUB just cursed you as you're trying to speak.
Yes, they did. They did that years ago. Had to dust off a little bit, but I'm good. Or they're dusting their feet off towards me as a heathen. So
Mhm. People that don't want to do better definitely need to be on the prayer list of the worthy and righteous saints. So what that means is I think every Sunday or at least once a month, the AUB does a prayer circle. They have a list of names. You can do this in the Mormon church too. There you can put people's names on a prayer list. They put that prayer list on an altar in the middle of the room, and then people chant in circles walking around this prayer list, praying for the people who are on this list.
Do they say the names of the people on the list, or is it just a piece of paper?
I don't think so. I don't think so, unless it's a very specific for this family. Then I think that they do. But if it's just a generalized list, they do this in the Mormon church as well. I mean, your aunt has asked you numerous times if she can put your name on the list, because you heathen. But this is something that they do.
Well, they do put it on the list. So yeah, that's why I'm just curious, because within the AUB, I was written out of the book of the Lamb of God by their terms. No yawning.
I know. It's like it's bedtime.
Written out of the book of the Lamb of God. So my mom couldn't put my name on there unless she snuck it in, because nobody would say my name out loud. I wonder if she uses my middle name and gets me on the prayer list.
Yeah. So they do that a lot, Mom. And then they pray for everyone on that list. And quite often people will ask to be put on the list. Again, I'm not no foul or no harm if people decide they do want to do that. It's just, I believe that when people come together with a collective consciousness of energy, that they are, yeah. So,
and I appreciate my aunts have put me on their list most of my life. So I've been very appreciative of them, that they're always thinking about me and sending love my way. So I do not get frustrated. I'm very appreciative that they're thinking of me.
It's funny because somebody says to me, "We're going to be praying for you guys. I know you don't care about prayer." And I was like, "What? Why would you say that?" Of course I care about prayer. And so I responded back with, "Of course I care about prayer. I absolutely believe that when people come together with a collective consciousness of energy, that is very healing for people. And it's been proven that prayer heals." And so I think it's interesting. I was surprised when she had said that to me. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Sarah explained a little bit more. My mom left at 4 with a guy who works for my dad. My dad just worked, so he was never around. So at 4, I lost both parents in my 4-year-old brain. I have always had a hard time expressing clear thoughts. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm sorry to hear that. And what's interesting to me, Corey, when we were going through our divorce, one of the most impactful things that was said to Corey about me, was from the therapist, was, we will revert back to the trauma, to the age of the trauma that we were when we experienced that trauma. And so we will behave as if we were that age. And so that makes sense if you were 4 years old to have, if whenever you're reverting back to that trauma, to make that connection and struggle with having clear thought after that. That makes sense, because that is when you experience that trauma. And a 4-year-old, I don't know very many 4-year-olds who can form clear thought and expression of their emotions or their hurt or their trauma. So that would make sense as to why. And then once you start healing through that trauma, you will be able to remove that blockage of resorting back to being a 4-year-old during that time period.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you talking about your interview with Christine and David, I had thought that they spoke so much that they weren't really giving you space to react or add your own story and where it intersected with theirs. Oh, thanks. Well, we actually sat back and tried to let them take. It's so funny. We're learning as we go. We're
Yeah.
figuring things out. Obviously, we're brand new. We've never been interviewers before. We've never been YouTubers. Like, we're just figuring this out as we go along.
We're
And
getting
so,
better every day.
yeah, we are.
So
And so we try to take people's feedback and incorporate it into what we're doing if we feel like it will be helpful. And so with David and Christine, we really wanted to talk about some of their healing that they've gone through since leaving. And I know she's expressed multiple times that she doesn't like talking about her past and how it's just always about Cody and the sister wives. And I'm like, sweetheart, that's what you've been on TV for 18 years representing. So of course people want to hear about that. So we tried to direct the conversation around healing about what they've done since they left the AUB. And so, but thank you. I actually did want to give them the opportunity to talk because that is probably the number one critical thing that I get is I tend to talk over people. I'm a control freak. I definitely am a control freak. Let's see. There's probably a prayer app idea here for someone smart. That's awesome. That's probably actually very good. Michelle says we have our own prayer list right here.
Yeah. Now, my aunts, somebody said you had to give them permission to put them on the list. Now, I think my aunts were they were trying to get me to kind of believe the way my grandparents had taught them. They were not a part of the AUB, and so they were just trying to bring me along and let me know. And they did. They worked so hard my whole life letting me know that I was cared for.
Yeah.
So some of the strongest women in my life were my aunts and my grandmother. So I've been very, very appreciative of them. I just at one point I was just like, I'm not following any religion, sorry. And they were kind of heartbroken about that and sad about that, which because they believed wholeheartedly in their religion. So
yeah.
And I appreciate them for believing. They were good women, strong, intelligent, lovely women in my life. And had such a positive impact on my life.
You attract so many strong, brave, intelligent women in your life. You're so welcome.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
No. But yeah, there's something else I was going to go with that, and then I just got sidetracked to mock myself for a minute. What was I just going to say? Dang it. With religion and prayer, I think we are such powerful people, and our minds do so much for us. And Plid Kid right there says dopamine is the key, feeling blessed, or dopamine is the key. And I think that is true. We're such powerful creators with what we believe. And when religion gives people something to believe in and something to hope for, I don't see anything wrong with that. What we get caught up in, unfortunately, is the shame and guilt that religion brings, and the control. So trying to control someone else, shame someone else, guilt someone else, that's where I find fault with religion. Other than that, it gives people hope. It gives people something to, it gives people a sense of purpose, sense of community, sense of belonging. There's so many positive things with it. I personally will never be a part of organized religion again, ever. But it does give people that sense of purpose and that sense of hope. And when you can eliminate the shame and the guilt out of it, we're powerful creators as human beings. And if we can get together in a collective consciousness enough where we all are praying or hoping or sending good vibrations, whatever you want to call it, to one specific thing, I think that's very powerful. And I think the powers that be, the source energy, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, manifests a healing in that. Oh,
Right.
and I agree that it is a dopamine feeling when we come together collectively. Um, it's definitely a healing. Thank you. Says I started watching Sister Wives content, but I stayed because of you both. Thank you so much. I love seeing your growth and how you help others. Keep going. You're making a difference. So excited I made a live. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you made a live. And I see that you're a realtor. So that's what we do. So I do mortgage lending and Corey does realtor and I love it.
Yep.
And so
Welcome.
although I feel like I'm being pulled more and more into a different direction now than mortgages anymore, it's something that I made a 26-year career out of, but it's definitely something that I feel like I could move on. I could move on from. So let's see. Oh, I saw Emily is back in the game. Is she okay? I, um, oh, she says I watched too many YouTube videos looking for a hit. That's funny. Like somebody who is looking for yeah. She yeah, I know I'd been talking to her a little bit. I need to call her because we need to connect. But she just that kid, she's always so busy. Oh, let's see. Accidentally found you live when you're live. I like you guys, informative and funny too. Corey makes me laugh.
Oh, thanks. I haven't been very funny the last couple times. I was too serious. So I'm like, I got to start telling my jokes again. Just get less serious about polygamy and growing up the way
And
we did.
more about the jokesters who try to live
more
it.
humor.
Yeah.
Some,
Well, I feel like this can be like we can definitely make fun of a lot of people that we know, but sometimes I feel like we kind of went through a dark little spell there for a minute where things got real.
well, just there's so much humor that goes with it. But yeah, then all of a sudden you start watching some stuff that kind of hits you like, oh, that still stings. I got to make that. I've got to make fun of that now
Mhm.
too. So
Yeah. No, thank you guys for watching the Christine and David video. That is up on our channel. That was really fun. I'm going to try to do some one-on-one videos with Christine about healing. I think she'd be really good with that. And she did mention in there that she's going to be mentoring with Holding Out Help as well. So I'm excited to maybe work with her in that capacity too. So I think that hopefully she's wanting to, I feel like that's how they got the show, is she was part of Principal Voices, and it was standing up for other people in polygamy. So hopefully that's where she's going with it now. And I think that'll be really good for her. Somebody says, how is your mom? I think she is okay. So we've kind of taken a little bit of a separation. Right. Well, she's taken a separation. So she's taking some time to heal through some things. And so I'm not sure. I haven't really checked up on her or talked to her in quite a while, but she's just taking a break. She's taking a step back and trying to figure out where she wants to go and what she wants to do right now. That is one of those situations where I have to take a big deep breath and remember the 4 agreements and not to take things personally because it doesn't have anything to do with me. So I think that's the best answer I can give. Anything, should I go any deeper with that? Just let her have her experience and let her. Breaking free from a cult is hard, and hearing about it on a public platform is even more extreme and can be very difficult for a lot of people to hear that. It's one thing to tell the story in your head because you can say, oh, it wasn't that bad. Oh, it wasn't that, it didn't happen quite that way, but you can't take someone else's experience away from them. You can't take what someone else remembers away from them. And when it's verbalized and it's out there and all of a sudden you hear about it on a public platform, that can be really hard to digest for some people. What are you going to say?
No, I agree 100%. That's it. Being able to talk about this in private, in a one-on-one setting, joking in our living room, and then coming and putting it on YouTube, it's scary. And a lot of times it's not I don't know. We were trained up not to talk about certain things in public, and so when kind of the truth comes out, it stings. So,
Yeah.
and people have just got to suck it up, tell their version of the story.
Right.
So,
Right. And you know, things that I have felt like we have healed through
mhm.
are now have been being resurfaced because we're talking about them more. And so things that I thought were already healed, I didn't it was never my intention to be hurtful. It was never my intention to say too much, but I think that when we have really damaged other people, especially our children, we tell ourselves a story. I know I do it with my children. I tell myself a story that I loved my children. I adored my children. I did everything. I laid everything on the line for that child. And when I hear some of their rememberings of what they would experience, I'm like, "What?" And so I've really had to tell myself over the last few months that that's an experience that my mom is having. That's an experience. That's how my mom chose to remember things. That's not how I remember things, and they're different and they're conflicting. And so, as far as I understand, she doesn't watch our channel at all anymore. As far as I understand, she's really just because it's too much. I feel like when we have caused harm,
Yeah, I'd love to know why.
sometimes
So,
we can live in a world of denial so that we don't have to fully be accountable, because if we were, it's too much. It's too the overwhelming sadness that we know that we've created in someone else is too much for some people. And again, I have worked through a lot of this and healed through a lot of it. So hopefully I'm trying to be as explain it as much as I can without it trying to take over my mom's experience. I want her
yeah.
to have her own experience, and when maybe one day she'll share it. I don't know.
Well, and I feel like that a lot of times, I mean, back when I was younger, back when I started taking different classes, I talked to my parents, I talked to my mom. I had a better understanding
Yeah.
of, okay, this is where it stings, this is where it hurt, this is where I wasn't happy growing up. And I've had those conversations with my moms. They have changed. There's open communication. I would say because we had that conversation, everything healed, and our relationship became so much greater. It sucks that when you go back and say, hey, this is kind of what went on, and this is how I changed and healed. And all of a sudden it's like, they're like, well, you can't say that out loud.
Yeah.
Well, but that's already the conversation we've had. We've already healed from that. We've created so much
Mhm.
more from here, but maybe we're the ones that healed through that process,
Right.
and they still have to go through the process of healing
Mhm.
or what have you. So,
Yeah. And that book club, the last book club that we did was very heavy. And I think it just
mhm,
hit a little too close to home. And so it's one of those experiences where you just let the other person be, you just let them have their experience. And who knows where it'll go from there. I just know that my intention was not to do harm. My intention was not to be hurtful. When I found out that there was hurt, I did
mhm,
an immediate apology, an immediate tried to heal things as quick, and I did not expect it to go this long, like 4 months. In 5 months, I think we're on 5th month now. So I did not expect that. But yeah, that book club was really heavy in a lot of areas. And
mhm.
there's already people in my family who are upset that we have this channel and that we're talking out loud. And those people are encouraging my mom to stay um what's the word that I'm looking for? So yeah.
Shunning, because
Yeah.
we were talking about shunning,
Yeah, I don't
or
know.
I
It's
don't
not
know
really
if that.
shunning. It's when you completely like abandon. Like talk about some I mean hell, I'm getting some abandonment issues here going on, you know, and I don't even know if at this point if my mom did come back and decided she wanted to talk to me, I don't know if I'd even talk to her at this point. I think that I would just let things lie and be the way that they are, because I feel like I don't know that I want that back in my life anymore. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not committed one way or the other. It's just one of those situations where I do have some sisters who are very much who have gone after our channel quite a bit,
Mhm.
and um in what's the word that oh my god, this is a subject that's a little uncomfortable to talk about. And they have enrolled my mom into that belief about our channel, that our channel is evil, that we're out there doing harm, and that, and it's hard to read comments about yourself when you know that what you did caused harm. You know that you didn't stop abuse when it could have been stopped. What are you smirking at?
The belief system or the communication that you're if they would speak out against the Lord's anointed, they would speak out against any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, fine, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we do speak out against the Lord's anointed and call out.
Yeah.
Just have conversations with people if the.
Well, and we've talked about it
So-
on our channel before. I've been so surprised because some of my siblings that have never been AUB, never, like in their lifetime, never been a part of AUB, but now they've taken every opportunity they can to enroll my mom into the belief that I'm just out here to do harm to her, which really makes me feel sad.
Mhm.
And I don't agree with that. So I don't think she even watches our channel at all anymore. I just honestly, that book, I think just
Neither
to get
does
a
our
little,
sisters.
yeah, my sisters never. So, my sisters never have watched my channel. That's what I said to them. I'm like, tell me which part of what we're talking about has been so offensive to you. I don't watch that crap. But you're convincing mom that it is offensive. And apparently it's not what we have said. It's what has been said in the comment section about my mother that has been so hurtful to her too, because she knows when you don't stop abuse and you allow it to continue, that comes to surface sometimes, and I don't always know what to do. So I wish them healing. I honestly genuinely do, because these are sisters that I have nurtured from birth, and I've been very devastated over their stand about it.
Well, this is why we're going and learning techniques, because one of the techniques that she was talking about today is when they make a decision to do something,
Right.
you can't push them into or hold them accountable. They have got to make the decision to, let's say, move forward, and then they're the ones that you just encourage them to do that. If you start to try to hold them accountable or do anything, then all of a sudden you become the bad guy and they
Right.
basically pull away. And okay, well, now we're being pushed. And
Right.
when people are coming out of these societies, they've been being told what to do, pushed to go do this, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Right.
They're being told all of these things that they have to follow. And so all of a sudden, if they come into a communication with somebody and they're like, no, you said you were doing that, you have to do it, they're going to go, oh, okay, red flag. They've had that their whole life coming out of a community. So sometimes it's just better just to sit back and keep sending love and
Yeah.
kindness,
So it's
and
kind of what we've done is just,
have them come back around. So
yeah. And I think that too, like Emily and I have gotten a lot closer. We talk not regularly, I would say, but maybe once a week. Which I wouldn't say is irregular, but I wouldn't say it's very regular either. So yeah, it's just kind of one of those experiences where you just have to let people have their experience, let people go through what they're going
Yeah.
through. I personally have gone through a lot of ups and downs because of this situation and where we're at with it. But you just have to let people have their experience, and you
Yep.
just have to know that whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you know what. So somebody asked me this in one of our last lives, and I'm creating the PDF that I said I was going to. It's just taking me a little bit longer because I want to make sure that I get it right, that I not get it right necessarily, but get it so where it's helpful. Because one of the things is I asked myself, was there intent to do harm? No. Okay. Was there intent to, you know, does this have anything to do with me? No, I have to ask myself these questions. And if I can say no to these questions, then I know that whatever hurt is out there is not about me. It's about whatever that person is going through. And I've had to really be careful about that over the last couple of months as we've been talking and sharing our experiences. And everybody remembers things differently.
Yep.
When I'm a 4-year-old little girl, I'm going to remember things a lot bigger than a 25-year-old mother is going to remember things. I'm going to remember things with a lot more intensity and a lot more, that's my experience. And to try to shut down your child sharing their experience, I think is sad.
Well,
So,
the interesting part is I thought we were trying to create we're trying to create, if we're getting something wrong, especially dogmatically, I'd rather have these ladies who have grown up in it. How were they taught that was different? So dogmatically, please, we have been very open on correction.
right.
We've been very open. Hey, if the PSR, if your dad wants to come and get interviewed and tell his point of view, you're welcome.
We were laughing about
Come
this.
hang out. Let's talk about your dogma.
Yeah.
So let's get your opinion and on how we're behaving online. We would love to have him on. So
We even said that about my ex-husband. We're like, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like if we invited him to be on our show, he would 100% come on and tell his side of the experience. Absolutely. Get on there. And
Yeah.
so we were just laughing about how we might be able to get other.
and probably validate your story in a way that he probably doesn't even realize that he
Right.
would.
Right. So,
So-
anyways, that's where we're at with it. We're just allowing it to be what it is. And, yeah, it is what it is. And you know
We're
what, we're
entitled
moving
to
on
the-
with our lives
Yep.
and doing the things that we need to do so that we're showing up as grandparents and parents the way that, like we said earlier, we are turning around and doing how would we want it to be. How did we say that earlier? That how would we have wanted our parents to respond
Not
to
to
us?
yeah.
That's how we're responding to our children. So this is
Mhm.
teaching us a ton of really good things.
Yep.
So anyways, let's go help. Sorry.
No,
Catch up.
CJ, first wife, says everyone is entitled to tell their experience from their own perspective. If anyone disagrees, the internet is free and they can start their own channel. That is awesome. And then I see Plig Kid 69 down there flirting with her. So you
I know, I
flirting
gotta
with
catch
my
up on the
sister?
comments. Yeah, again, it's insecurities and being taught not to be disrespectful in a weird, holy rolling way. Oh, I guess my mom is watching.
Mhm.
I didn't think that I was told that she was not watching our channel anymore.
Exaggerating.
Truth would help. Exaggerating destroys. No one has tried to turn me against you. See, and that's the hard part about not having any communication at all, is because you're
Yep.
left to other people's interpretations of what's happening. And so then they explain, this is what I see. This is what I see. And then you're left to, even though they've been told that they're not allowed to communicate with me, it's been kind of shitty. I won't lie.
Well, welcome.
Who?
Your mom. I didn't know she was on here.
Yeah, I didn't
we were
know she
told
was on here
not
either.
watching us anymore. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we
still.
were told that that my mom was not watching us anymore. I'm so sorry that your mom's journey has taken her away from you. The truth is a harsh light that a lot of people shy away from. And it is. It's like nobody wants to see that. I know when my kids tell their experiences, I'm like, huh, that's interesting, and so but I want to give them the space to have their experience too. I don't
Mhm.
want to invalidate them. And that's what I feel like. That's what I think.
Well, we've done that in the past and tried to fix, constantly trying to
Yeah.
want them to be able to communicate with us so that we can fix any hurt that's there.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to let, if I mess up, I want to definitely have a conversation with them. So
Yeah.
it's a reminder I need to be picking up the phone more. So
Yeah, you have focused on healing from your very first video. Thank you. I appreciate that because I really do feel that way. I am so sorry that sharing your truth has caused such pain. And honestly, it has, but it's been good because it's giving us a whole different perspective. And when we did this last interview, we realized just how much we can show up for other people that want to share their stories too. And if we can just learn a little bit more on how
Mhm.
to, because we're so unpolished and we know we are. We know that we're like just out here telling our story. We don't know any other way to be but just who we are. And so we just talk about it and we talk about our experiences, but we know that we can be a little bit more polished in that so that we're not hurting survivors of this, of cults or polygamy or anything. So that's why we're taking these classes. That's why we're learning so that even our own family members, our very direct family members, we can be a little bit more polished and a little bit more, what's the word? Sensitive to
Yeah.
their experience.
Sensitivity training.
Yeah.
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 That's exactly what we're doing.
My 34-year-old just mentioned that they were raised with toxic positivity. It's funny because we were just having this conversation with my son. He's very emotionally intelligent and he's 19 years old, on the spectrum. He's not severely on the spectrum, but he's enough. And yeah, we both are too, but it was such a great conversation. He's like, toxic positivity, what the hell is that? So as we started talking about it, he was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And so it was such a great conversation to have with him, because I love to watch the way his mind thinks about things, because he thinks about things in a very simplistic term, and where I overcomplicate everything. And so when he just comes out with, well, just do it like this, mom, I'm like, you're a genius. And so, yeah, we're going to answer just a few more questions and then we'll probably hang up. We've been going for an hour and 45.
And she was like, we're only going an hour.
Because I got to go to bed. I'm so tired. This hormone replacement therapy is kicking the crap out of me. I wanted to get to this one. I appreciate this. Thank you. Maturity is how you guys are handling things. Thank you. And we don't always know the right way to handle things. We don't. We're just learning. Yeah. Yeah. And if we can get some assistance from people who are, this next course that we'll start is a state sanctioned course. Mm-hmm. Then I feel like we can be so much, we can show up for other people in a whole different way than we are. So, yeah, let me get to this. I just jumped on a live from Australia. Can I just say how proud? Welcome, yeah, welcome. Can I just say how proud I am of both of you? I can't imagine the unlearning you have both had to do in your life. Sending all the love your way. Thank you and welcome. Yep. Oh, yes, and thank you, Jody, for saying this. This is a great way to phrase it. Your goal is to teach and validate the voiceless. Yeah, yeah. This next interview that we have coming out is a big one. It's a doozy, and I'm so proud of her for the way that she's just a joy to listen to. I have enjoyed connecting with her. She reached out to us, and she is just, what are you smirking at? Because you just used her name, so. No, she is by nature, very happy and very joyful, just very like, that's what she says. She's like, I was just born this way. She reminds me of my daughter quite a bit, but she has just been so much fun to connect with. And her story is a doozy. And it is, right after we filmed with her, I knew that we needed to do more. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm so excited to share this one with you guys, because this one and her father she is talk about purebred. Her father is Owen Allred's oldest son. And so she is very much in the, no, she's not a LeBaron. She's from the Allred group, and her father is Owen Allred's oldest son. And, yeah, she's wonderful. I love listening to her talk. I love listening to her share her story. And yeah, I think you guys are all going to be just as surprised at some of it as we were. Yep. You're over here smirking. Well, because you I'm sitting there running the show from the background, and you guys are both highborns within the hybrids. Yeah. AUB, talking about how I didn't know that there was a class system. Yeah. So Yeah.
Little old me sitting down there like, yeah, there was. You guys were both. I thought you were the high.
We did it here in our studio. She came to our home, and then my brother stops by, who ended up like was in love with, or her sister was in love with my brother. It was a whole big process thing. It was fun. And so he sat and chatted with us for an hour, but it was just her and I, and we kind of scooted back against the wall, and we chatted for quite a while. And so I think I'm really excited to share her story with you guys. She's never shared her story before. And I think you're going to find who she's related to and how she's related to very, very fascinating, especially for all you Sister Wives fans. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm super excited to share it. Let's see. Thank you. Keep telling your truth. I look forward to seeing how the knowledge you are learning changes the way you present yourself. Yeah, thank you. We were both today going through, we got a level of certification today, and both of us were like, oh, these seem basic. Like we already do these things. And I want to catch this one too. Thank you. So glad to catch the end of this. Hearing your experience with your mama is the way you were processing that is really helping me find the words to what I'm feeling. Yeah. Yay. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If everyone what?
It says only 85 likes, but 190 people watching. Remind
people to like it. Thank you.
Hit that like button. Yeah, we appreciate you guys' help on that. We're trying to rebuild our channel from
and it's working.
A bit of attack. Yeah,
it is working.
Really
so thank you. We got a lot more. And I know we dropped the episode with Christine. So I appreciate, I know that up to the views on our channel, but we really appreciated it. Everyone's been wonderful. If everyone kept quiet, nothing would ever change. I love your channel. Thank you. Yeah. And the biggest reason we never talked about my mom's situation before is just trying to be respectful to her and her experience. Let's see. When you start to change your life for the better, people sometimes show their true colors. I would agree with this. I know I need to get your email so I can send you an email. I want to talk to you about some stuff over here. Top hats and urinum and thumbums would help simplify your messages. I think maybe a Halloween episode or 6/24, 26-ish. That's funny.
7/26-ish. So
yeah.
Seems appropriate. Yep.
Plig Kid Pioneer Day. Oh, sorry. 7/26. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pioneer Day here in Carl Malone's birthday here in Utah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because he thought they were having the big
Pioneer Day for him.
Yeah, Pioneer
so
Day,
in Utah,
the
24th of July is Utah State Day, and it's called Pioneer Day. And if you're not Mormon, then they joke about it and call it Pioneer Day instead of Pioneer Day. And Carl Malone was the Utah Jazz main center guy, not center, but one of the main guys on the Utah Jazz, which is the NBA basketball team. So we're talking about things people probably don't know.
Yep. And so when he first came here, they were doing a big celebration, and he was like, oh, they're celebrating my birthday, but
yeah,
it was for the pioneers cruising in. So when you hear all these stories about people doing floats for Pioneers Day, so we even did that up in Montana too, where everybody'd get together, put together a float, and do a little parade. So celebrate 4th of July and then 24th of July.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Somebody Christine, you just said who her dad was. So it's actually not Christine. Christine's dad is one of Rulin Allred's children. The girl that we talked to, her father is Owen Allred, which is Rulin Allred's brother. So her father is Owen Allred's oldest child.
Well, let's discuss that when it's coming out. She explains all that.
I know she does explain all that in there.
We gave him.
What did you say?
Hints. So.
Okay. That's what I love about behavior analysis. It helps me understand the people around me better. Me too. That's what I'm so fascinated with people and why they do what they do. I really, truly, because I feel like when you can understand where someone is, why they do what they do, then you can have more compassion, you can have more charity, and you can have more grace for people. And so that's why I like to understand why I do what I do. What are you doing?
I just was looking at that one there.
Yeah, I was going to put that one up too. I appreciate this. I truly believe everyone here just wants you to realize your value and how much you are loved and treasured. And I
Yep.
appreciate that. I appreciate so
agree.
many. There's been so many positive comments in almost every single one of our videos. We have very positive comments, and I really have appreciated that. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the great advice. I appreciate your words of wisdom. I think we're going to wrap up here in just a second.
Yep.
That's so funny. I never knew that. I thought it was fireworks for the prophet and a big barbecue. So I think that was when I met Cody Brown for the very first time, was at Pioneer Day. He had just gotten off, I can't remember though. He had just gotten off his mission, I think. And we were out at the Polygamous Church, the AUB building. And there was a man out there who owned a fireworks stand. And so he would bring a bunch of fireworks to the AUB, and they would light them off every year. And I'm pretty sure that it was that event that I met Cody for the very first time. We were out at the AUB building but I just can't remember like what time of year it was, but I'm 99% sure that's when it was. And he had just gotten home from his mission, and we were all out there doing that big celebratory thing when this guy joined. Yeah, beer and pie day sounds like a lot more fun. Yeah, so if you're not Mormon, most people do call it pie and beer day. That's what they refer to it as. Oh, somebody says Maddie Brown posted today showing how much better her kids' lives are not having to hide or live in fear. I think that's so awesome. I'm going to have to go. Somebody DM'd me about that and asked me to reach out to her. So I might reach out to her and see if she's willing to do something with us. Most of the time, we've just allowed people to come to us. And so I haven't done a lot of reaching out, but I might reach out. I just love her. I love the way she thinks. I love some of her philosophies with her children. I think she's just incredible.
Yeah.
So I might reach out to her and see what we're going to do. I think we went live on TikTok last week. I think we're going to start doing a couple more lives on TikTok. That one got a very good response. We've kind of let our TikTok flatline. We haven't really done a lot with it, but I think we might try to resurrect our channel a little bit.
Because just most of our family, most of the family that are on talking right now on YouTube, they're from Montana, and they don't have TikToks.
Yeah, I think
Montana banned TikTok from up there. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So none of them have.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
They can't even come on live with us and hang out. So
oh yeah,
I'd lose half my family.
Yeah, we've been doing some lives on TikTok with other creators, and I think we're going to start doing a couple more of those. So I've done it with 3 creators so far, and then of course Slightly High Historian. I think we'll be going live with her on TikTok the 3rd week of June. I'll post that over here. Also, I'll post it on our Instagram when we're going to be doing that. Then I'll let everybody know when we're going to be going live over there, because I'm pretty sure it'll be on her channel. And we'll go live and talk about updates. But yeah, she was going through college, graduated. Now she's been spending a lot of time down at the FLDS down at Short Creek. And then of course she's down in Short Creek right now. And so I just said, yeah, let's get together maybe the 3rd week of June. So that's what we're kind of shooting for it. Oh,
I love Matta's energy too, because especially when she was when she was a young adult, she was one of the ones that was saying, I'm not living this way.
Mm-hmm.
That she already
was so sure of herself.
And I know from growing up in that situation, even though she had that opinion, she would have probably been talked to and communicated to.
Don't say that on TV.
Don't need to say it on TV. We need to show that this is a great way to live, things like that. And she still told her truth. And so she would have been considered, disobedient.
Yeah.
A disobedient child. So.
Yeah. So I love this pious sneer day. All right. Yeah. One more little question, and don't forget to follow us on all of our other social media. All of our social media is the same handle, Notes to Self 444 on every platform.
Yeah. I don't know how they
it seems very unconstitutional.
Yeah. I don't know how they did it, but apparently they put in a thing. So if you have a phone number and you enter it in there, you don't get a connect. So yeah, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
So I just
Seems very unconstitutional according to the United States Constitution that they can do that. But again,
State
that is one of the
laws.
things that we talk
Mhm.
about, but it's communications.
Mhm.
Like it's communication. It should not, that is something that should be federally governed, not state by state. But
Mhm.
we're I'm very against big government. So states should have the ability to govern themselves, but that's a whole other topic for a whole nother day. So thank you guys. We really appreciate
Yep.
everyone being here. We appreciate everyone being so respectful in our comments.
Yep.
And I'm excited to share this new post with you guys. We're still on season 4. We just watched the episode where the kids are teasing Leon about Hunter
Oh
getting
yeah.
Hunter getting arrested. And so
April Fool's Day.
so we'll be
it'll be
making
a good one.
so we'll be releasing that recap here pretty soon as well. And then we'll do some posts and stuff with the new interview that we just did. And then we're doing some interviews with Holding Out Help tomorrow.
Yeah.
That big huge fundraiser is coming up throughout the end towards the end of June. And we're doing an interview with Tanya Toole, which is the owner of Holding Out Help. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. And so watch for that. They have I think it's called 12 days of freedom to help do fundraisers for them. So watch up for that. We'll keep you updated here on our channel as we're doing it. Again, we're going to still try to go live every Wednesday. So kind of watch for us there. And thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Anything else?
Nope.